Hello, my name is Aria and I am the CEO and founder of Wilderwise Homes. And this is actually our first build. It is our prototype, however, it is highly functional. We've been traveling in it and we plan to live in it in the coming months as we go to a number of tiny house shows. And we're really excited to debut this groundbreaking technology that really makes this tiny home unique. So the two main issues that we saw with the tiny houses that were on the market a few years ago are, number one, the loft bedrooms. I think that this is one of the biggest factors that inhibits people from going tiny. They love the idea of minimalism, they love the idea of getting rid of their things and living in a small space, having that mobility, but then they go upstairs to see a 3-foot loft and it's just an immediate, no, I could never do this. That's where this design concept of a lifting roof and having a full second story came into play. There's so many design considerations that went into it and the laws around how vehicles can be made and how the standards that we have to follow. So for it to be considered an RV and be following all of the safety rules that we follow, it has to be 13.5 feet tall, and that's the law. So in order to have more than just a loft and have enough headroom downstairs, there has to be some sort of engineered component to lift the roof, which is kind of where this whole idea came from. The second thing is weight. So most tiny houses are built out of wood. There's some built out of steel, but of course those components are very heavy. Having it be lower weight, having more square footage, all of those things coming together make it so much more accessible and functional. And I believe there's a lot of people out there with the same dreams and the same goals, but just haven't found a product that fits that. And I've heard that at shows. I'll have people come up to me and they've looked at all of our materials or they've taken a tour of the house and they'll come up to me and be like, this fits all the boxes. I've never seen anything like it. This is what I was looking for. I didn't even know it existed. Like, thank you. This is ingenious. And I see it in their faces. It like dawns on them that like the possibilities that are there. And so those are the people we're trying to reach. I am very pleased to introduce you to these two men beside me. This is my dad, Steve.
Hello, I've known her for a long time.
And this is my partner, Lawrence. Lawrence is my co-pilot. He is my fellow tiny house caretaker and traveler. We will be taking this tiny house to a number of shows around the country this summer and just showing people what's possible with this kind of alternative housing solution. Lawrence also has over a decade of experience in customer service, and so he is a very excellent spokesperson for the company. And my dad has more than a couple decades of experience being a handyman. He knows everything from appliances to HVAC to plumbing and electrical, and he really ensures that everything in the house is functional and safe and ready to go.
We aim to make everything work right.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring our video. I've got skills. Mad skills. More than ever before, thanks to Skillshare. It's an online learning community with endless engaging classes for creative and curious people. I fancy myself both. And I've been on a learning journey to become a more centered me. First, I joined the Writing for Self-Discovery class by Yasmin Cheyenne, and most recently, the Ultimate Self-Care Playbook by one of my favorite humans, Jonathan Van Ness. I've had the best time learning to create little pockets of joy to take better care of myself. And honey, it's been gorgeous. Ready to invest in your personal growth? Browse thousands of inspiring Skillshare classes to get investing in yourself today. The first 1,000 of our subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity right now.
I'm going to give you a closer look at the outside of Wilderwise's flagship model. This tiny house is on an 8-foot wide, 21-foot long trailer. And one of the most obvious features right off the bat is how tall the house is. So no, we do not travel with it looking like this. This roof section that you can see actually comes down by about 3.5 feet, making it towable on standard roads, no permit necessary. And then when you park at the destination, like it is now, the roof comes up and opens up about 6.5 feet of ceiling height on the upper level. So you actually double your square footage while maintaining a smaller footprint, and makes it really versatile in smaller spaces and for traveling and wherever life takes you. Here you'll see the outer part of the AC unit. We have some spare tires, storage, the trailer tongue, which will hitch to our tow vehicle. This home, as is, weighs about 9,000 pounds. It is just under 300 square feet, and we are able to tow it with an F-250 regular gas engine, nothing special. Makes it a lot more versatile for travel. Don't need a dually 350 diesel truck that will cost you an arm and a leg. So it's definitely a more travel-friendly home than a lot of other ones I see out there. Here we have our water and electrical inlets. They are standard RV hookups. You can plug in at any RV park that you go to. It also can be plugged in on a residential property, is what you see here. This is a pressure regulator for the water. This is a water drinking hose for all of your uses inside the house. This house is powered on 50 amps so that all the appliances work and function properly. So another thing that makes this tiny house really unique is that it is made entirely out of aluminum. So that's both the trailer and the frame. Aluminum has a lot of really great benefits, although it is challenging to work with. So it takes a special kind of skill to weld. It also expands and contracts with heat. So all of that has to be taken into account for the other components that are working with the aluminum. So this tiny house has been engineered from top to bottom. It is not stick built, as you can see. It's not just a carpenter project. I have a team of engineers that have made this possible. Aluminum has a lot of really great benefits. It's super strong when done the right way. It makes the home a lot more lightweight and more tow friendly, more travel friendly. So one of the really unique aspects of the technology we've integrated into this tiny house is that the entire structure is modular and has modular capabilities. So that means that each component is its own separate module. That means the walls, the kitchen, the bathroom can all be moved and reconfigured if need be. So one of the big benefits of this is that the home can be fully disassembled and reassembled in hard to reach places. This is especially important in urban areas where there is the greatest need for affordable housing, and there's really tight, hard to reach places. So each of these components can be broken down and fit through a standard 5-foot easement, where there it can be reassembled in a backyard as an accessory dwelling unit, otherwise known as an ADU. And another really cool aspect is that each of these wall panels is its own module. So this is the frame post, and then this whole wall panel to the next frame post. We are designing a system where the entire wall can swivel upwards to create a transitional indoor-outdoor space. So one of the big design components that we considered when designing and building this home is making it as flexible and adaptable as possible, so that as your life changes and you have different needs, the home will adapt and grow and change with you. It's a flexible structure and will allow for people to use it in any way they see over time, no matter where life takes them. Hello and welcome to the inside of Wilderwise's tiny house. Here we have Lawrence that will show you the living room and kitchen.
You're on the downstairs level of this 2-story home, which offers just under 300 square feet of livable space. We designed this space to be as functional as possible so that you can really utilize each area to its maximum potential. Like here in this couch, you have plenty of storage available. Each one of these modules opens up for storage, and it's pretty comfy too. Above, you can see there's plenty of space to move around, stretch, nice tall ceilings, energy efficient lighting, all LEDs. You can see here a nice mini split that keeps it nice and cool in the hot summer days out here in Arizona, as well as keeping us warm at night when the temperatures can dip. You can see on the stairs there's plenty more storage. We tried to incorporate storage at every turn. Underneath the stairs, as well as underneath all the stairs, you have storage for shoes. You've got a flip-up countertop with built-in storage beneath, a nice little breakfast bar, place for us to sit down and have a meal, prepare food, or a nice little office space where we can work. And the stools themselves even have storage inside and can double as side tables. That way we can, wherever we're at, whatever we're doing, we have a place to store our belongings as well as a place to be comfortable in doing whatever it is we're doing.
My wife and I have been involved with Wilderwise for almost 5 years, as long as she's been involved. We have a very close family, and whenever anything would come up with Wilderwise, we'd get a phone call about it. And so we've been giving her support all along the way while it's been in the design phase, the building stage, and now we have the real deal here in Tucson. I couldn't be more proud. I've always known that she's the kind of person that likes to succeed. She's been like that since she was in first grade. I see it still happening. She'll never change in that way. Whatever she does, it will succeed. Yeah, I'm very proud.
And it's really special to have this be a family business. My cousin, John, he actually is very involved in the company as well. He was our first investor. He's our chairman. My other cousin helped with a bunch of content writing. So we really have created this family structure, supported one another, and it is right in line with the company's focus and value in community building and bringing people together. So it's like the foundation of the company started with me and my family and all of our close supporters and friends, and it will continue to support kind of our mission of continuing to build community and to bring people together. And that's really special to me. It's really important to me.
Moving into the kitchen, you can see nice countertop space, nice bright colors. Make this a productive space, whether you're cooking or entertaining friends and family or just kind of relaxing after a nice hard day's work. Plenty of cabinet storage for all of your utensils, cutlery, and various cooking tools and needs. You've got energy efficient appliances. We went for an induction cooktop. We have an apartment-sized fridge with a separate freezer. Yes. You've got a washer-dryer combo here. Super helpful, really effective. And we have this Breville oven as well as a dishwasher. Hallelujah. It's kind of a dream come true for us. We lived in a really small space for a couple of years and we didn't have a dishwasher, so having that is a big plus for us. Yeah, you can see all of these switches activate all the pumps as well as the lighting throughout the downstairs of the home. Yeah, when Aria and I first met and started dating, I was living in a 180 square foot studio apartment. You know, we kind of chose to do a trial by fire and we decided to move in together into that small space. And after 3.5 years of living together in that small space, we realized that we really could make it work.
I was very nervous to move into the 180 square feet. I mean, that's almost half of what this house offers. So that was the tiniest micro spaces that we lived in for 3.5 years. But I do feel like it was the catalyst for our relationship blossoming and growing at a very fast rate. And that helped create the foundation for moving forward to having like a strong enough partnership to build this really ambitious company. And of course, you know, the company is focused on big living in a small space. And that's definitely what I've been finding, not only in the studio, but just in spending time with other tiny dwellers as well as spending time in this space, and as we look forward to living in it more regularly, is that with less stuff and less space to put your stuff, you really hone in on what's important to you, and it really allows us to live in our values and to spend the time doing what we want. All of that becomes so much more available and accessible when you're not bogged down by large spaces, static spaces, all your things, a high mortgage payment. I mean, the list goes on. And so I think that living in a small space has become pretty easy for us. We've gotten really used to it. We lived out of our truck for a few weeks. We go camping for extended periods of time. Lived in the studio. So this honestly is an upgrade from what we've experienced in the past.
All right, we are now in the bathroom of the Wilderwise tiny home. You can see on one side we have a composting toilet. Future models will have options for the composting, incinerating, or flushing toilet. We chose to go for the composting toilet option since we will be spending a decent amount of time off-grid. And on the other side we have a nice shower area with tons of headroom, no cramping into this bad boy. Got some nice natural light through more windows that we put a protective film on for privacy, and just really makes this space nice and airy and open and really refreshing. And before we head upstairs, there's one more thing I'll show you on the way. Watch your head here. This is where we house the motor and the controls for the actuator that lifts the roof up and down. Let's go take a look upstairs. Here on the stairs, we can see the control for that mechanism that we were talking about downstairs. That is the control for this electric actuator here, and this is what is responsible for lifting and lowering the roof and allowing us to access all of this tasty square footage up here. Yeah, let's go take a look at the bedroom. In this model, we have a queen size bed with a built-in bed frame, which has got tons of storage underneath. You can see front to back. Yeah, so you can see storage all around the bed frame itself. All of these white cabinets up top are built into the roof module. All of the gray cabinets below are freestanding. When you lower the roof for safe travel, all you do is pull away the lower cabinets to make way for the upper cabinets to drop in their place. And when you do so, it lowers the roof to 13 feet, 3 inches in height, so you can legally tow without any special permits. And then when you park, you slide your cabinets into place as you see here. So you can see that there's plenty of storage on either side of the bed for all of our belongings, as well as cabinetry all around the bedroom space to hang clothes, store personal items, anything you like.
2022 to me is the year of the tiny house tour. We started off in Phoenix last month, and we will be going to Fresno and San Diego, California, then to Anaheim and Los Angeles, California, followed by 2 shows in Colorado, and then back to California for San Jose, and then back to Phoenix at the end of the year. There could be other opportunities in the mix that get added as we go along. My goal for this tour is to get as much exposure as we can in the places that are really in need of affordable housing, and to show people what's possible with this kind of tiny home. So as you have already seen, this tiny home is really unique. It has a lot of features that make tiny living, I think, even more comfortable for people, more travel friendly, more square footage with a smaller footprint. And I want to be able to show people what's possible with that.
One aspect of traveling to shows and events to show this kind of a home to people, it's about building the community. It's about getting out there and meeting new people and talking about ideas, sharing things that work, sharing things that don't work, being inspired about what's possible and how we can really make a difference in this planet while we're here.
This, I would say, is my favorite space in the house. It is essentially a flex room. So the way we have it set up now, it's kind of an office lounge space. This is where I do most of my work at this desk. It also has a bench for us to sit, to lounge, to read. But what's really awesome about this space is it really can be turned into whatever best suits you. So I've talked to families that would turn it into a kid's bedroom. You can fit 2 twin-size beds here, or you can fit a double bed. A lot of people have talked about putting some kind of Murphy bed. It can be used as a music room, an art space. Really, however you see it, it can be turned into that. I've even spoken to people that wanted to make this space their living room, have a couch and a TV, and then have downstairs be their office space. This is something that you can rarely find in any other tiny house, and the fact that this house includes the lifting roof and opens up this whole new space allows for this flex space to be possible. And having that versatility was something that we really focused on in the design. This makes a huge difference for people who are living long-term in their tiny house, and just gives that little extra bit of space and privacy that, you know, I think people take for granted living in a traditional home. And when it comes to tiny spaces, any little thing that makes a difference with regards to privacy, with regards to storage, it makes a bigger difference than you would think. These cabinets that you see here actually serve a number of purposes. Number one, they offer a lot of storage, of course. But number two, and maybe even more importantly, is that they contribute to the weight distribution that's needed for proper lifting and lowering of the roof. So we mentioned the electric actuator, we have the cabinets, and then we also have gas springs that are in the corners and on either side of the house. And with all of those components combined, the roof is able to go up and down smoothly. So to get that process started, basically what we do is we remove all of these gray cabinets. They're very lightweight. We can move them pretty easily. We set them down. And then these white cabinets get lowered all the way down to the floor, which brings the roof down and the whole home to be about 13.5 feet tall, so you can tow. One of these models starts at $85,000 and can go up to about $100,000 with add-ons, upgrades, any, you know, additional changes people want, customization. But I would see most people ordering in like the 85 to 90, 95 range for everything you would need to live. Cool. Next big steps for Wilderwise. As we go on this tour of events, we'll also be expanding our team, both on the production side as well as on the business development side. We want to get to a point where we are a high volume manufacturer, and so we've developed systems in our manufacturing to make that possible. So we will be establishing those systems, refining them. We really want to be able to build homes at a fast rate because I think that the need is there. We want to be able to eventually provide housing for the homeless, to provide housing for disaster relief, and a number of different philanthropic efforts as well. We also want to move towards kind of, like I mentioned, like a smart house technology. So beyond the full product suite of tiny houses and all the add-ons that we plan to build, we also want to go beyond that and to develop a platform that will help landowners and tiny house owners find each other, because that is one of the biggest challenges that people face when they want to go tiny is, where do I park it? You can put it in an RV park, but most people maybe don't want to live in an RV park. And then there's the opportunity to put it in the backyard of someone's property. But how do you find someone with a backyard? If you don't have a network of people that own homes, how are you going to find a place to put it? So what we want to do is create an Airbnb type platform that can connect those two parts and bring them together, while also providing a piece of hardware called a smart meter, which can help connect utilities. So there's a way to charge rent, there's a way to bill and monitor utilities. It not only makes the whole process seamless, but also helps both parties have a more conscious awareness of their energy consumption for water, electricity, all of that can be monitored and billed much more easily. So it's not only just the product, it's also the kind of full spectrum of how do people go tiny, where can I put it, how can I live this way? And we want to make that process as seamless and easeful as possible so that the housing really can be accessible and possible for so many more people than it is now. And that's one of our big end goals. So we hope to meet you on the road. Bye.
watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.